Hey, this is Doug from After the Fall, and you're listening to Blevins Nation on Rock Rage Radio.
Blevins Nation Entertainment and BlevinsNation.com, the place to go for all the best in rock and roll music, new rock, and podcast. So sit back, hold tight, and open up your ears. The revolution is here. Now here's your host, Chris.
Hi, everybody. This is Chris with Blevins Nation. We're talking with Doug, lead singer of the band After the Fall. How's it going?
It's going great, Chris. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, it's Friday. The weekend's here. I'm going to see music tonight. Where I'm at, I can go see music damn near every night. You know, so that's awesome.
That's a great thing, man. That's a great thing.
Exactly. So where are y'all from?
We're from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, my friend.
Oh, okay. Well, I know before we started recording, you said that y'all had some success and some stuff, down south, and so I was making sure. I wasn't sure, where y'all were located. So okay.
No, we're from Pittsburgh, but it seems like south, Florida.
Yeah.
I know now Tennessee, seems Texas too. It seems like a lot of those places are really starting to pick up a lot of our songs on the radio and stuff on the radio stations down there, thanks to RFL. So,
okay.
I can't complain, man. I can't complain.
Yeah, very cool. I know a DJ down there it's a small station because it's public broadcasting, but it is a station on FM, and he plays whatever I send him. So, and he can do the same thing. He can play unsigned and, everything, but it's a real radio station. But he's also
awesome, man. Awesome.
He's also on the same, it's syndicated. His show is, so it's on Rock Rage Radio, the same as mine. So which mine's
nice, man.
Mine's not syndicated, but it's but I'm live on Sundays between 7 and 9. So get me something, and I'll definitely get it on. So
I most certainly will. I'll tell you what, man. Rock Rage Radio is a blessing, my friend, because we got it up here in Pittsburgh too, and a lot of the DJs up here are spinning the crap out of our stuff, man. And a few other stations, a few other Rock Rage affiliated stations are picking up our stuff too, man. So the internet, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
Oh yeah. I think they have something called Outlaw Rage Radio, Tattoo Metal Radio, Rock Rage Radio. Shit, Boston, I don't know. There's a lot of them, and they got about 80 DJs. So I mean, hell, man, that's awesome. People listening in over 200 countries. So shit, you can't beat that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Exactly, and you don't have to worry about some fat fuck smoking a cigar, sitting on his ass, saying, "Hey, you got to play this because they gave me money." Fuck you.
Yeah, there's a lot of that up here, man. There's a lot of, I'm not going to name any names, man, but there's a lot of stations like that in the Pittsburgh market like that, man.
iHeartRadio is one of the biggest, I can't even remember the names of all of them. But anyway, Clear Channel.
Clear Channel's one.
Yes,
you got that Clear Channel down there. Yeah, I hate Clear Channel, man.
Yeah. Anyway, we could talk about that shit all day. I don't even like getting on
that. Oh, yeah. We're talking about happy stuff. Let's talk about happy stuff.
That's right. Well, some good news for y'all. Your drummer just won an award for, was it Best Drummer in Pennsylvania or something like that? Through a magazine?
Pittsburgh, yes. It's a Pittsburgh Music Awards, Chris. It's put on by also a podcast up here called the Iron City Rocks Show, and they do interviews mostly with national artists.
Yeah.
Pretty much anytime a national artist rolls into town, they'll have them on their podcast. But they're also big supporters of the local scene as well. And every year they have these things called the Pittsburgh Music Awards, and it's all fan voting. You know, there's no like you say, no big fat man with a cigar who picks who's going to, win or not like that. It's all done by the fans. And not only did our drummer, Matt, win the best drummer, but we won the best alternative band and the best rock band. And that's that would be 5 years in a row now that we've won.
Shit.
So, yeah, man.
That is awesome. You know, I haven't seen that. I just saw, I guess it was Sam and a couple other people posting, for congrats to the drummer, but I didn't know the band had won that, for best alternative and best rock. Fucking congratulations, man.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's really an honor too, because like I said, it's the fans that do the voting. So it's really nice to know that there's people out there who are not just attending the shows and buying the merch or buying the CDs, but that are also taking the time to, I know it's just a couple clicks of your mouse, but people's time is precious in this day and age, man. So we appreciate any support, any love that anybody's willing to give us. So it's a big honor for us to have won that, man, especially 5 years in a row.
Yeah. Speaking about that, I used to I coached football for a long time, and
nice.
I used to work for NFL pro camps, and I would go to all over the U.S., doing camps here and there and stuff. But there was a guy that was at some of them that, would host them or whatever. And he always said, and I thought this was the coolest thing, he would ask the kids, what is the most precious thing someone can give you? And, kids, of course, they don't know. But,
sure.
And of course, and then he would go, their time is the most precious
that's
thing
right,
someone
man.
can give you. And that's
absolutely,
fucking awesome.
Buddy. Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm behind you 100%, man. Time's the only thing in the world you can't get back, dude. I can always go make more money. I can always go make more friends, but I can't make more time. So
sure as hell can't. So make the best of it, and
that's right.
Going in the studio.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be going, Chris, we're going to go to the studio this coming weekend. Actually, well, not this week, it'll be the following weekend now. But, we're heading, there's a studio in Steubenville, Ohio. It's our first time. We've worked with the gentleman a few times independently of our band. My drummer, Matt, he fills in for a few other bands, and I've done some guest vocalist appearance on other people's records and stuff. But this will be our first time actually working with, his name's Mike Ofka. It's going to be our first time working with him at Innovation Studios out in Steubenville, Ohio. And we have a single that we're going to be recording that nobody has heard before, man. We haven't played it live yet. Nobody's heard it yet. And, we designed it that way on purpose because every time we write a new song, we'll kind of test it out, a show or two, kind of see how it goes. But we decided to do something a little different this time and not play it anywhere. So nobody's heard this song before ever. And we're going to go in there, we're going to record it, and RFL Records is going to help us get a video together, and hopefully we're going to be dropping that as a single here in hopefully early summer, man, we're hoping.
Yeah. Cool, man. That and I let me hit on two things real quick here before we go on.
Sure, man, go for it, buddy.
The first thing is definitely I love the fact of recording something and then springing it on people, but there's
that's great, man. It's a good concept, yes.
Yes, it is, but there's always a catch-22, and that's with every damn thing, because I was an artist for many years, and
sure,
we would put stuff out, without anybody hearing it, and then the next thing you know, we play it live, and it turns, this changes a little, and
I know exactly what you mean.
So that's gonna happen, and if it doesn't, that means it was the perfect fucking song anyway. But but I noticed that when you go in the studio and you've played these 10 songs forever, especially just starting out,
sure.
You've got them down, and you go in the studio and you just hammer them out, bam, 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 and you're done, and that's so fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you have that magical moment where you sit in the studio and you might write something, and it just click, and bam, it's done in 5 minutes, and you're like, wow, that's the best fucking song I've ever done, and we've never even played it before.
No, fucking ain't right, man.
You know,
no,
so,
I agree. We've done it both ways, brother. We've done it the first way where, well, actually, I take that back. This will be the first time we've ever not played something live before we recorded it.
Yeah.
But we have gone in there, and wrote something in the studio. Actually, this album that we just dropped in November, My Confession, one of the songs on there, we went into the studio. We had the shell of the song, the chords and the arrangement and stuff, but no vocal melodies or lyrics. And I just kind of wrote them on the spot, man, while we were in the studio. So it was a cool experience, man. It's the first time it's ever happened. So, I agree, man. You never quite know which way it's going to – when you're dealing with music, man, you just kind of gotta let it flow. However it goes is how it goes, man.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you said, so that's next weekend you're going in. Now, you're just doing one song? Or are you going to do a couple? Okay, just one. All right, very cool.
No, it's just one for now, Chris. Then what we're going to do is we actually have some other songs recorded that we recorded probably about a couple of years ago now. Okay. And it was, to make a long story short, it was a nightmare of a saga, I guess, if you want to call it that. We had some studio mishaps with some engineers and stuff, and getting them mixed and mastered was a headache, but we finally got them to a place where we liked them. But since we haven't released any new material now for, this will be going on 4 years here, we want to get something brand new out there, something fresh, and then we're going to release those other 2 tracks later on in the year. So, but it's going to be a year of a lot of new music from us.
Okay, very cool. And I forgot my second thing I was going to hit on. Dude, have you ever seen the movie That Thing You Do?
Oh, dude, I love that fucking movie, man. It's a great movie.
Steubenville.
Oh, yeah, that's a great fucking flick, man. I love that movie. Tom Hanks, that's great, dude.
When you said Steubenville, that's the first fucking thing that popped in my head. And I was just like,
oh man.
I think I've seen that movie 1,000 fucking times, if not more.
Oh, I love it. I love that movie, man. I love how they credit, too. If you watch the end credits, they have the drummer, I think his name was Guy,
right.
The singer, Jimmy. They have the bass player as just the bass player. I always thought that was pretty good, man. Yeah, just the bass player. Doesn't even get a name, dude. Just the bass player.
And let's see, I think it was Wolfman that took over, and it was so funny because the drummer goes, "Well, can he handle our song?" And he fucking tears that shit up and looks at the kid and goes, "I can handle it." And he goes, "Okay."
Yeah, okay, that'll work. That's great, dude. That's a great. I haven't seen that movie in a couple of years, man. But I love that movie. That's a great movie, dude. I haven't either,
so I gotta watch that. But yeah, man, that's cool as shit. So so how long have y'all been together? You said about 5 years, or is it a little longer? Or?
Well, the band as a whole has been together actually since 2004. The drummer Matt. Yeah, man. The drummer Matt and our bass player Steve, they're the 2 of the original members. Okay. And now when they formed back then. They were more of a metal outfit. They kind of did more, I'd say like screaming, guttural kind of vocals back then. And I joined them in 2012. And I'm more of a rock and roll kind of guy, a little bit of grunge influence and stuff, And so when I joined, they were looking to go in a new direction. I was coming from a different direction. So, we just kind of hit it off real well, and we started going in a little bit of a different direction with the band and the music. And then our guitar player, our present one, Zach, he joined up with us about 4 years ago now in 2015. And because our old guitar player, Brandon, he had us bowed out respectively. And so this formation of the band has been around for about 4 or 5 years now.
Okay, very cool, man. And that's interesting to go from they went from metal, and you came from a different background and all that. So that's very cool, man. Question: you said you got some grunge influences.
Sure, man.
I'm not gonna knock on grunge. I liked a little of it. I was born in 1970, and I grew up a teenager in the 80s, the greatest fucking time of anybody's life. I wish everybody could have done that.
I was around for a little bit of the 80s, man, so I remember some of it, man. I was born in 82 myself, so I experienced a little. I was a little bit of a young buck back then, but I came at teenage years in the 90s, so but go ahead, man. I'm sorry, I didn't even cut you off here.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. I like to hear everything, but yeah, I mean, that I don't even know where the hell I was going with that, but you mentioned grunge.
You're talking about grunge, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
But yeah, what did you cut your teeth on? What did you go? Let me ask this first. Do you play an instrument?
I do. I play guitar.
Okay, cool. All right. Now, kind of tell me what you cut your teeth on as far as, you saw a guitar player and you go, hey, I want to do that, or even with vocals too,
Well, that's actually a good question, man. Musically, like my influences, I grew up listening to everything, man. My mom was a big oldies fan. She listened to a lot of the stuff from the 50s and the 60s, like Elvis, the Beach Boys, the Mamas and the Papas, a lot of that stuff.
My mom too.
Music. Oh yeah, she loved that age of music. And my dad, he was more into the 70s, like the late 60s, early 70s, like Ry Cooder, Cat Stevens, Jim Croce, stuff like that. So I really got a wide dose of music in that sense, and then but myself though, I started listening to grunge. The first album I ever owned was Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusions. That's the first CD I ever bought. And I'll tell you what, that was the moment. That's when I knew, I guess every musician has that quintessential moment where they're like, man, I want to do that. That was it for me, man. I listened to Use Your Illusion, and I was blown away, man. And I just started gobbling up every rock record I could get my hands on. I got Dirt by Alice in Chains, Core by Stone Temple Pilots, Evil Empire by Rage Against the Machine. Oh yeah, that's I got nothing against the 70s and 80s, my man, but the 90s was pretty. Even if you take the grunge out of it, because there was a lot of there was still a good amount of original music coming out then. I find today, and I'm not to knock on any band out there, there's still a lot of great original music out there, but unfortunately it's not mainstream anymore, man. If you want to find the good stuff, you really got to hunt for it now.
Yes.
And the internet's made that a lot easier, and you can find, there's still great stuff out there, but for the most part though, the mainstream stuff, man, is just so regurgitated and rehashed, and it's the same way with Hollywood, man. How many movies are getting remade? You see Nightmare on Elm Street remade. It's like they just can't keep their hands off of a classic. Just leave it alone, man. Come up with something new. But as far as guitar goes, I cut my teeth on the blues, man. I learned how to play guitar from the blues. I was big into the B.B. King back in the day. Whenever I was learning, I listened to a lot of B.B. King. Oh goodness, man! I've got Robert Johnson, a lot of blues stuff, man. When I was a teenager, and that's actually how I learned to play guitar, man.
That's awesome. That's good, man. Because rock and roll and rock is is part of the blues. Country's the same thing.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Same thing, yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that's cool, man. Definitely. And speaking of the 90s, I mean, I was just bitter because it kind of ruined some careers of the bands that I loved and grew up with.
I understand, man. I understand. There's a lot of that going on back then. I understand.
Yeah, but so many things are considered grunge because they came out of Seattle. But to be honest with you, I don't know. It's I love Stone Temple Pilots because to me they were more rock than they were.
Oh, I agree, man. I agree. The musicianship in that band blows anything Nirvana was doing out of the water, man.
Yeah,
Stone Temple Pilots were a great musical band. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. I would definitely put them under the rock umbrella, not grunge.
Oh yeah, and one for sure that was definitely not grunge was Candlebox, and they were blues rock.
Yep.
Fucking killer. And one of my favorite bands, so I am a little biased, but
No, it's okay. That's all. You can be biased, brother. You can be biased.
But I mean, that's that's just it, and fucking just because they came out of Seattle, they're considered grunge, and the same way with Alice in Chains, dude. They came out in the '80s. Very late
they were around
80s,
for a while, man.
And they were a hair band, and so the fuck was every damn body else until they cut it off. But it didn't have that same exact sound. But Alice in Chains was, they did have a different sound, and so did Chris Cornell's band. I just went totally blank. Oh shit.
Whose band was it? Say it again, buddy.
Oh, it was Chris Cornell's band.
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden. Thank you. I was trying to say Black Sabbath. Yep. I was like, what the hell? But they did have a different sound, and I liked some of their stuff. Liked not all, but 90% of Stone Temple Pilots, and I love everything Candlebox did. But I was never I know, and you'll probably hate me for this, but I was not a Pearl Jam fan.
Pearl Jam is actually one of the bands where I thought their first album was a fucking magnificent album, man, 10. Yes. And then they came out with their next one, it was pretty good. And by like the third one, they lost me, man, because they just started going a little too out of left field, man. And that's, hey, man, as artists, they got to explore their thing, But here's the thing, see, grunge. I always found that the term grunge, man, was more of a money thing than anything. The record companies, they were looking for the next big thing. They found some bands in Seattle. They had a different sound than what was mainstream at that point. And, somebody coined the term grunge, and now all of a sudden that was it, man. And that was just a marketability thing. The same way they started selling grunge clothing. You could go into your local Walmart and buy flannels and stuff like that around that time. It was all just a money-making scheme, man. It had nothing to do, like you said. Stone Temple Pilots couldn't have been further from Nirvana or, any of those. Yeah, exactly. And but the record companies, man, they needed something to sell records, so they just called it all grunge. Yeah. And then people started gobbling it up because it was a new big thing. Yeah. But I agree with you, buddy. There's a lot of those bands, like you say, Alice in Chains, man. I mean, I think it was called Diamond Lie, they were rock, man. They were a hair band, like you said. When you watch their early videos, man. They were a hair band, dude. Yeah. The same way Guns N' Roses was a hair band. Yeah, whenever they first started. Mm-hmm. And, it just became a marketability thing. Everyone says, oh, grunge. So now all of a sudden everyone's wearing flannels and Doc Martens and, but musically though, seriously, man, that's what it was. It's a shame too because, a lot of good bands, like you said, in the 80s and stuff, that, were doing really well, had a lot of momentum, got passed over. Some of the best albums that came out in the early 90s from those bands got looked over because of grunge, man,
exactly.
And it's a shame. Like, Skid Row. I love Skid Row, dude. I thought Skid Row was one of the greatest. Yeah, man, but here comes grunge, nobody Skid Row. Who are they? You know what I mean? So... Exactly. It's all a money thing, brother.
Exactly. And I would like to set the record straight here. I know, I don't have Axl Rose. I haven't interviewed him yet for him to, say this. But I did interview PJ Farley, bass player for Trickster. And to be honest with you, Trickster and Trickster and Guns N' Roses in the 80s started the flannel shirts with the sleeves out before. Now they might have been wearing them in Seattle, but nobody was discovered yet. So that shit started in the 80s with hair bands, not fucking grunge.
No, man, I know, buddy. You ain't telling me nothing I don't know. You're right, Axl Rose, but and there was a few bands that were wearing that, and the thing is again, it was all a money thing, man. Exactly. Like, oh, we can prepackage this outfit and call it a grunge outfit, and That's what it boils down. And people, your average middle-aged man back then who's having a midlife crisis went out and bought grunge clothes, in the 90s, and you see all these, like, 45-year-old men walking around wearing Doc Martens and flannel shirts. Like, what the hell is going on, man? And when that starts happening, yeah, right. But by that point, it's not cool anymore, dude. When the old adults start corrupting it by then, it's done. It's over. Stick a fork in it.
It is. All right, enough about that shit. Let's get back on After the Fall.
Sure, man. Get for it, buddy.
No, that was me. I like getting off on tangents and shit. But
no, I'm the same way, man. I'll talk your ear off, bud. You better watch
out. But yeah, man. Let's see here. So now, what have you put out? What have y'all put out before? How many, like EP or full CDs, or what have you put out?
Well, when I joined the band, they had just put out a record probably about a year or two before I joined, and then they
then you went in the direction.
But before I joined, and then when I jumped on, we came out with a 4-song EP in 2014. It was just the title 2014 EP, and then it was actually meant more for a demo. But it turned out that, it kind of got, some attention for us and stuff. And then we went back in the studio and did a full length the following year to follow up with that. So we had a full length 10-song LP come out in 2015. Okay. And in 2017, that's when the studio nightmares began. We went back to the same people who had done the previous 2 albums, but unfortunately the gentleman who recorded it wasn't working out of the same studio anymore, and that's where all the trouble began, because we recorded with this other guy's studio, and he's more of a rap hip-hop kind of producer and engineer. So that there was a lot of friction during that session, and the songs came out all right, but their mixing and mastering just wasn't up to par, and a whole bunch of behind the scenes issues and stuff arose. But so those 2 songs, we were going to release 2 songs, and as it turns out, they're still unreleased to this day. We're going to be putting them out later this year. But that's it as of right now, though, man. And with when we signed to RFL last year, what we did was we reworked our full-length album that was called My Confession. We kind of combined it with our EP and mixed some of the songs together and released it worldwide through RFL now. So RFL's they've helped us to get distribution over in Japan, in Europe, all throughout the States. So now you can buy that record all over the place through RFL.
Okay, very cool, man. Very cool. All right. That's awesome, man. Definitely, send me a couple of songs, or if you can give me the whole album or anything, that would be awesome, because I'll definitely play some stuff on my, on my show, and I'll call my buddy down in Mississippi and get him to play some stuff, So.
Absolutely.
So,
after we're done. After we're done, man, just let me know if you'd rather get it digitally, or I can send you an actual copy if you want to rip the songs off the CD. You tell me what's better, and I'll hook you up, man.
Okay, yeah, man. Either way. So, but now you said a video for the song. Can you say what the name of the song is? The title?
Yes, I can. We're getting close to the point now. My drummer actually, he kind of spilled the beans last night on social media anyway.
Oh, okay.
So the song's going to be called "Shut the World Out."
Shut the World Out. Okay.
Yeah, without divulging too much, we've. I think we're all kind of, as human beings, a little bit disenchanted with the way things are going, not only just in our own country, but, abroad as well, the way the world is today.
Everywhere.
And, without getting too political or anything like that, because we're not a political band, we reserve our own views and stuff like that for ourselves. But, it's a universal song, though, that just kind of deals with the frustration of where we're all at this point in history. And but also there was a redemptive quality to it too. It's about wanting to shut the world out, because it's all gone mad. But if you were to do that though, then we as good people, how could we help save the world if we're going to shut it out? So it's like I guess like an internal conflict, kind of theme.
Okay.
But it's called "Shut the World Out," man.
Okay. Well, very cool. Very cool. And I'm seeing all sorts of things for video thing. That's cool, man. Definitely waiting, for that to come out. So,
awesome. No, yeah, it's gonna be good, man. And I'll tell you what, you got an exclusive there from me too, buddy, because that's the first time we've ever officially on the record told the name out. So you can you can tell all your listeners, man, that that's the first time anywhere that anyone's gonna hear the name of the song. So.
Well, yeah, hell yeah, that's cool, man. Let's see here. Now, where can everybody check y'all out?
Well, we have our Facebook page. It's www.facebook.com/AfterTheFallBandPA. You can check us out on Reverb Nation, www.reverbnation.com/AfterTheFallBand. Okay. And if you want to buy the CD, our last one, My Confession, through the RFL website, you can go to www.rflrecords.com/after-the-fall-merchandise. A lot of hyphens there.
That's
but you can go check that out, and you can order the CD directly from the label themselves.
Okay. Now, is that out digital too, like iTunes?
Yes, it is.
Stuff?
Yes,
Spotify?
You can. The new copy, the revised copy, isn't out in digital form yet, but the old one, the one we had released back in 2015, is still available on. You can get it on Google Play, Amazon. You can listen to it on Spotify, on Pandora. Pretty much any major music retailer out there who sells music, you can download and purchase those songs. And what we're probably going to be doing here is with the release of our new single coming up, we're probably going to be adding My Confession, the new version, to the digital platform as well. So, but like I said, most of the songs there's a few different songs on there than the original copy. But if if you own an old EP, then you'll have some of those songs as well. So, but yeah, I'll definitely, I would tell anybody who's listening to stay tuned to our Facebook page. That's where we make most of our announcements. Oh, I forgot Twitter and Instagram too. We're on Twitter and Instagram too. So if you, I
was going to ask that.
Yeah, we have a Twitter. The Twitter is twitter.com/ATFBandRocks, and the Instagram I think is Instagram.com. official_after-the-fall_band, if I'm not mistaken. But if you just Google After the Fall Band Pittsburgh or After the Fall Band PA, we come up everywhere. So
okay. Now, do y'all have a actual website?
We do not. Actually, when we were going to the studio here, it was a money decision whether to make a website or to save for a video. And between us and the label, we decided we're going to do the video. So, but the website should be coming here this year.
Well, I think the only thing cool about a website now is you can do a one page and you just scroll all the way down instead of clicking on and going to different pages. And the cool thing about that is you can put a damn link and a picture of each social media market thing, download all that shit and put it on at the top of your page, and everybody can click on Facebook. Then go to that one page and click on anything you want. Anything they want.
No, I agree with you, Chris. You're right, man. No,
that's cool.
And a lot of bands too have their online merch stores that they run through their personal websites too. So that's that's definitely a bonus to that. But yeah, we're looking to have one of those up here. Hopefully, like I said, the end of this year we're shooting for. So
okay, very cool. And shooting for, you said summer for the release and the video and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully sooner. That'd be cool.
You never know. Again?
I said it hopefully sooner, but you can't always control
That'd be great, man. Hopefully, like I said, I know the studio session should be pretty smooth. Mm-hmm. It's the video. Sometimes those things can more of the editing process. I know I've learned from experience those things can take time. So I've often found it better to say a later date and then everyone's pleasantly surprised when it comes out early, than to say, oh yeah, it'll be out in a couple months, and then it gets to be July, and everyone's like, where the fuck's your song at, man? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I tell you what, I know Jamie Brown. He's the lead singer for the band Roxanne. I pushed the hell out of them.
Okay.
They did a CD back in the 80s and then took 30 years off. They were actually a cover band for 30-something years. And then they just made a new album, dropped it, called Radio Silence, and it's fucking phenomenal. George Lynch guest stars on it, and Doug Pinnick from from King's X is on it and shit. So, I mean, it's badass. But he is a music video director and producer. So hit him up, man, and just to see, I don't know what he, a charge and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, he is damn good. I've seen a lot of his stuff. He not only does it for his own band, but for tons of bands that are on Rat Pack Records and other labels and stuff too.
What's his name? Jamie Brown. Is that what you said? Jamie
Brown. And
I'll definitely check him out, man.
Yeah, and the band's called Roxanne. Just look up his name and Roxanne behind it, because if you look up Roxanne, you're gonna fucking find Police and all this, everything else,
Awesome, man. Awesome. So I'll definitely check him out, man.
Yeah, man. So check out their videos and all the other stuff he's done. It's very good stuff. So, but yeah, and let's see. Are y'all playing anywhere in the next few weeks?
We actually have a show coming up here tomorrow night in Katanning, Pennsylvania. It's called Queederfest. It's in celebration of a local drummer who passed away way before he should have.
Okay.
But we celebrate his life every year. We do a show for him in his memory called Queederfest. Okay. And that's going to be up at the Sidebar in Katanning, Pennsylvania tomorrow night. Starts at 8. And then we also have some shows coming up here lined up. I believe we have one coming up in April, too. Okay. I don't know if I'm at the liberty to announce that one yet, though, or not.
Okay,
so
that's fine.
I don't know if they've officially announced that one. But yeah, as of right now, Chris, we've kind of been going a little light on the schedule just to be preparation for this single and for the music video. Yeah, because we want to make sure that that's our top priority and we can crank that out. Because a lot of times with shows coming up, you got rehearsals and making sure that everything's all lined up for that. And we just want to make sure our schedule was really clear. But I also do acoustic stuff on the side though too. I have a solo acoustic act, and I actually have a few shows coming up. I have one on March 8th. It's called The Hot Spot, also in Katanning, Pennsylvania. I have one the following night, March 9th, on Saturday, and it's at the Barefoot Bar and Grill in Leechburg, Pennsylvania. And the following weekend, the 16th, I have one at it's called Our Bar and Grill in Apollo, Pennsylvania. But it's a great departure from After the Fall, though. It's mostly cover songs I do. I do some originals as well, but mostly my own version of cover songs. And you'll hear everything from Elvis Presley and Buddy Holly, the whole way up to Bruno Mars and Imagine Dragons and Velvet Revolver, Guns N' Roses. I span the whole gamut, man. So,
well, that's cool, man. Shit, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, man, and anybody that wants to check out, of course, where they're playing, where After the Fall is playing, go check out their Facebook page, and I'm sure it'll be on events. And now where can they?
Reverb Nation.
And Reverb Nation, okay. And then where can they find your events? Do you have an artist page or anything like that, or just a personal?
Yeah, okay. It's facebook.com/Doug Carnahan Solo. And I post all my acoustic gigs up there. Actually, the ones I just told you, I'm going to be announcing here later on this evening. So they'll all be up. They'll all be up on my personal page here shortly.
Okay, all right, very cool, man. Well, I guess that's about all the time we have for today, and just keep me posted, man, when the video and the song release and all that stuff is, because I will definitely be spreading the word, all that good stuff.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
And
man, it's a pleasure having. I appreciate you having me on, man. It was a pleasure chatting with you, buddy.
Hell yeah, man. I love talking music, so it's cool.
Likewise, buddy. Likewise. Hopefully we can do it again in the future, man.
Hey, yeah.
Well, hell yeah. I want to thank Doug from After the Fall for calling in and talking with us and hanging out with us and all that good stuff. Remember, you can check out BlevinsNation.com. I'm on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, FM Player, Google Play, Amazon, all that good stuff. I'm on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And you can check out After the Fall also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And they have a new album coming out, freshly signed not too long ago to RFL Records out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They are out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Check them out live. Go check these guys out. Awesome. Going to have a new CD coming out. Got a video coming out, a single coming out in the summer. So definitely go and check all this stuff out. And tell everybody you heard it here on Blevins Nation. Everybody have a good one. And remember, kids, wherever you go, there you are.